Welcome back to Be So For Real Podcast. It's your hostesses with the most. And today we're talking about what is happiness. Are you happy in your life?
I think happiness can be conditional. I think if you have the right circumstances in your life, it can make you happy. Like, I think sometimes for people who have struggled with money, if they have money, they go, wow, that's all I need. You know what I mean? But y'all family is in shambles and y'all family don't talk, and maybe that money would have a different effect. So I think happiness can be linked a lot to material things. And I think happiness can be linked to the status of your relationship with somebody. So I think there's a lot of different factors in happiness, but I think happiness ultimately is conditional because something can change that very quickly.
Mm.
That's good. I think for myself, I would have to agree, especially when you think of happiness versus joy, because joy is something that is no matter the condition, you're in a joy, like a peace, like when God's joy is over you, and when you are in his joy, it doesn't matter what you have, rather if you don't have money, you do have money, or like you may not have the family that you may have wanted, you may have wanted children, husband, etc., but you still have a joy about life. You still have this, it's like it can't be
It's
described.
immaterial.
Yeah. And so I think, like you said, happiness is conditional. Sometimes your happiness depends on how you slept that night. Your happiness is conditional based off of the responses that you may get throughout the day. So I would say for me, happiness is, I think the best way you can say is conditional. Like you said, I think that's the best definition I can give it. Conditional based off of whatever I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I'm just happy, like, girl, I got some food. Like, I'm happy to eat. Like, I'm just happy to eat. But it's like, once food gone, bloating.
Do you think I'm gonna ask this question? Do you think for this past week you've been happy?
Mm.
When was the last time you remember being happy?
So I would feel like, wait, last time I was happy,
Yeah. So how you just said like when you
I feel like
ate
I've been
food.
experiencing a joy. No, like meaning like no matter what's been going on through my week,
Mm-hmm.
more of like a joy, like
Mm-hmm.
because I've had happy moments where I was just like, I was really happy when I had accomplished like my to-do list, like, and that was on Monday. So like I was
Mm-hmm.
really happy that I made a list and I got it done. I was really happy on Sunday, like after I had gave the word. No, I did not give the word, but I was happy on Sunday after the word. Like I
Mm-hmm.
was real happy, like sitting in the Lord's presence, and I would say just in those moments that I sit in His presence, that just be like a, man, God, I'm just happy that you still have me here. But I would say more for me, it's been more of like it's been very conditional. Like it's been very like, I just made me some brownies and they busted. I'm so happy because I get to eat that. I just made me something to drink and there's nothing else to drink in the house, but I got me some tea. It's been very
Mm-hmm.
conditional for me this past week, and it only being Wednesday. But if we went from last Wednesday to this Wednesday, I would say the last time I was happy maybe was like, dang, last night I was real happy watching TV.
Bye.
I think if happiness is conditional, then you can always make yourself happy. So you can always set the conditions for your own happiness. So um, I like peace. Peace makes me happy, and I'm always in a state of peace. So I'm happy right now.
Amen.
Amen. I like that. I
Mm.
like that. Being in the state of peace. That's good.
So well, I last time I was happy was probably this morning today. Like I was happy. Like I
I
was
thought
happy
you was
five
about to give
seconds
us
ago.
some deep, like, I thought you was about to give us like some deep, like, probably last time I was happy was in the third grade. I thought
No, I was happy. I was
you
happy
was just
5 seconds
prepping it
ago.
that way. Yeah,
We just
I
had a
was
little. We
Caprica.
just had a little laugh. That made me happy. Even though it
Mm.
was a disagreement, it made me happy.
Yeah, I think I love laughing. I think laughing is
It's my
so,
favorite thing.
it's like, I think laughing is one of the things that's just like, I think, like you said, like that can just make you happy. Like that can make you really just go, life ain't that bad.
Hmm.
Life lately, it's really not that bad. I love a good laugh. Like, and I love, like, I think something that makes me laugh is I love like unique humor, and I love like awkward humor as well. Like not too awkward, because sometimes awkwardness makes me like very uncomfortable because I can't understand it, like what's happening right now. But I like a good awkward humor. That's just like that's like me making somebody feel so awkward. I don't know. Or and I love when people may act out or are able to express a feeling or a thought I had in my head, and that's why I like love Like I love TikTok because people have a way of putting a thought that you have in your head, an experience that you may have experienced
Mm,
into a form of a video, and it just cracks me up that these people think this way. Like, you know what I'm saying?
mm,
Like I just think it's just so amazing. So I really love laughing. I think laughter is a really is a big key to like having that happiness. Like you say, you can make yourself happy. You can also make yourself sad. If you sit there and you scroll on social media, now you comparing yourself to Lori Harvey and her third trip this week, and you ain't been nowhere all year. You know what
that
I'm
was
saying?
very
It
specific.
really just.
It was oddly specific. It was very oddly
I'm just saying,
specific.
Mm.
it happens.
You ever had the moments where you like where you just sitting there and you just kind of get lost in yourself and you end up thinking of something that happened or something that you did or you just make a joke to yourself and you just start cracking up. I think those are my favorite moments because I be having myself cracking up. I'm so funny in my head. I'm so funny. I'm hilarious. I really
Definitely in
am.
your head.
It's
Definitely
out
in your
loud
head.
too, but in my head I'm funny. But just had to put that disclaimer out there. But,
Yeah, there's moments that I get lost in myself. I think that's like self consciousness, self awareness, like just being at one with yourself. Because um I think like being able to make yourself laugh, like you said, because you make yourself happy, and
mm,
it shouldn't be based off of certain things, people, places, material, etc. It should be you. Like you should, and that's why knowing things that make you happy, you should keep doing. Like I love opening boxes. I love unboxing stuff. Like I love gadgets. Like I love gadgets. I think they are so fascinating, so cool. Like, okay, you want to wipe your screen off? There's this, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
mm,
I literally love it. You know what I'm saying? There's some people who like are happy shopping. There's some people that are happy house shopping. There's some people that that are happy online shopping. I think it's just really up to you and really kind of knowing what makes you happy. And if you don't know what makes you happy, like, how do you go about knowing? How do you go about making yourself happy or finding out things that make you happy?
think trial and
I
error.
think trial and error.
Mm,
Ooh,
amen.
that's good.
Wow,
And
look
I
at us
touch
in
and
the same
agree.
lane.
I touch and agree. I think trial and error is a
Wow.
big one. What are some trials and errors that y'all like experienced that you learned that you liked or that you didn't like that made you happy or like didn't make
I
you
don't like
mm,
happy?
stupidity. I don't like
mm,
stupidity. I love to learn. I love to learn, and I don't like when people aren't on the same page about what we're learning. Like yesterday,
mm,
oh my God. Literally not yesterday, whatever day this, I can't remember. It was like not so long ago. We did a live and we got Papa taught something and then he dipped. And then I mean he had to go somewhere. But he left somebody to pray, and I'm not gonna say because he do this often, so you don't know who, you don't
mm,
know who. But he left somebody to pray, and I was like, dang, we did not pray that correctly. I was like, he just taught us that this thing comes this way and to pray against it this way, and we did not pray like that. And I was like,
Mhm.
and I couldn't, I honestly, it threw me off because I was like, how am I supposed to pray right now with this happening? Because this is distracting. So I had to leave out to make sure that I could pray according to what we were actually taught and not the prayer point. You know what I mean? Because I was like, that is not
Mhm.
right. And I was like, dang, that's how people prayers don't get answered. So I really like to learn is my point. And when we're not all on the same page, learning the same thing, I'm like, did I miss it? Or did you know? But
Maybe
that
you
disrupts
did.
me very much. Like I don't like stupidness. I don't like when things are not operating together, and that makes me very unhappy very quickly.
I think
That's good.
I really love like the like creative like the arts or like the arts like dancing. I like singing, I like cooking, I like stuff like that. But I'm not necessarily like huge star at some of these things, but I love it so much. But yeah, you making that face because I dimmed it down and I stopped doing certain things or stopped doing these things because people made those people was making me insecure about it. People was like I remember one instance. I was in the kitchen and I was singing, and I remember this person came in the kitchen and said something like you can't sing like something like that, and I said, and since then it blew me, and I still don't like that person for that, but that, but stuff like that, like even with the dancing, like I ain't got no rhythm, and then like the music, like the things that people kind of like put me down, but like yeah, put me down for, or say like, oh, you suck at it. I really like those things. It doesn't matter if I'm the best at it or not. I'm not trying to be on freaking Dancing with the Stars. I just want to dance in my room. I want to listen to my Taylor Swift, and I love cooking. And people used to bash me for my cooking, but now everybody say, "Oh, I love your meatloaf. I love your spaghetti. I love your food."
You got
But
this.
shut up. Because back then, because back then people was dogging me about it.
So
But
is
those
it
things
that?
really, huh?
So is it that the? So is it the people's reaction to the things that you like that make you unhappy?
Yeah, but it would happen when I was younger. So it was like I was way more impressionable back then. So it just kind of like, yeah, I just pushed some of these things. I still do them, but like I pushed them down. So I'm just kind of working back to exploring and loving those things. I still love them, but what I'm trying to say is I enjoy those things and I stopped doing them because other people said I wasn't good at it. But I realized it don't matter. It make me happy. I'm gonna keep dancing. Now, and so what?
It's just it's the thought of it like I'm gonna keep dancing, and then you like
Yeah, because I'm not trying to be on Dancing with the Stars, but I'm gonna
just
pop,
break
lock, and
out
then
in an
drop
8
it.
count.
Literally, 1, 2. Do what I need to do. Sing it.
Yo, no, you really did used to be doing full routines in the living room. You really used to be doing full like.
I had an iPod and I had headphones. I got it. My uncle got me an iPad what was it, Christmas or something, or my birthday, and I used to dance. I used to be in there busting the moves. I really was. No, I could
Okay,
use somebody
Airi,
else.
what makes you unhappy? All right,
I
Angel,
would
what
say
makes
for
you
me,
unhappy?
I would say for me, something that I've noticed that really makes me happy is I love like branding, marketing. Like it really makes me happy. Some things that don't make me happy that was trial and error was crawfish and crabs and stuff. And I noticed that it makes me extremely happy. I love seafood. Something that I tried that I realized that I don't like is learning. I don't like it. I mean I like learning, but I only like learning about stuff that I want to learn about. But
Yeah.
like how Dana, how you said like I love a good book, but I love a good book. And when I say a good book, I'm still on chapter 1 of the Laws of Nature. It's just taking me a very long time. But I didn't read
That's a big
It
book,
Ends With
though.
Us in 2 days. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I love a good like, oh girl, what? I didn't
Yeah,
tore
me
down
too.
Wattpad books in a day. Like, you know what I'm saying? It said a 17-hour read. Watch
Mm-hmm.
me do it in 8. You know what I'm saying? So I love urban books. Like I love watching TV. These things make me genuinely happy. Like if I could just be a couch, like I love like you but I'm saying like I really love eating. I love relaxing, and I love laughter. Like I
Mm-hmm.
literally like I laughing makes me happy. And things that I tried that I learned that I'm not a big fan of is, working out. I like the benefits of it, but I'm not a big fan of it.
Mm-hmm.
And but then I have like a mixture because I like working out until I sweat. So once all the sweating and stuff happened and body hurting and my face and blew up, I'm
Mm-mm.
over it. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep going. For what? You know what I'm saying? But I did know, like, I like cheer. Basketball, I'm not a big fan of it. The running up and back and down the court is crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I
Mm-hmm.
do enjoy shooting the hoop. You know what I'm saying?
Shooting the hoop is
I
crazy.
like, you know what I'm saying, swim, like water, like being in a swimsuit makes me happy, but swimming itself is not. I don't have but I've tried it. I've went under the water. I try, and it's like I don't get, what do I get from it?
Mm-mm.
Like like I'm happy getting my hair done, but I've tried doing my own hair. No, that makes me very unhappy. I'm not gonna sit here and put no some Fulani braids in my head by myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not about to try to learn how to do this sewing by myself. It's this part of me that's like ooh, but I've tried it before. Right when we get to the wash, I'm out of there. I
On
can't.
the
There's
detangling before the wash.
yeah, it's like detangling before the wash is, oh no, yeah, this sewing gonna be until my birthday. You know what I'm saying? Until it look bad. That's when, so Those are some things that I tried that I've learned about myself that make me happy. Music makes me happy. I like rapping. I really do like rapping. That's so crazy. Like I really love a good rap, little freestyle. In my other life, I would have been a city girl rapper. When I mean city girl, not city girl like pop it, pop that, pop it,
Mm-hmm.
but more
Oh,
like a Nicki flow. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Because they never which way
I
they go.
grata
You
with the
know.
rope.
So and I'm happy performing. I love performing like a if I had like a group, you know what I'm saying? Like I always imagine like that Cheetah Girls type of vibe, like a
Mm-hmm.
or like when I do like my shows, like get it, boom, boom, boom. I have moments where I just come up to Angel and be like, listen to the song I just made, na 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 na, na. Or like like girl, listen to me. Like it's just I like performing, acting, singing, dancing, all of it. I like taking pictures, but only when my outfit is given how it needs to give. You know what I'm saying? I like being treated like a princess, but I don't like working like a servant. It makes me unhappy. Like, but then I'm also someone who loves cleaning. Like, cleaning makes me happy. Seeing a before and after of something being clean makes me
Mm.
so
Give you a
like
different tingle.
it just especially if I had free range to do what I want, because I would throw everything away so quick, so fast, and hurry. Keeping stuff and putting it in the cue box is crazy. Let it go. You're hoarding, you know.
Amen.
But those are things
Mm-hmm.
I've learned about myself that through trial and error that I've learned like that I like and don't like. Cleaning other people's mess versus cleaning my own mess. Driving to a certain extent makes me happy, but also I don't like getting in a car with just everybody because everybody thinks they're really great drivers, but I don't think people be very like alert. Like you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like it's just certain stuff that I like and I just don't like, and
Mm. I love
that's it.
driving. Mm.
But it just goes
well,
into place.
speaking of people, what role do you think that people play in your happiness?
I feel like people play whatever role you give them. So I say that by
Mm.
saying like before, as you like how you had mentioned before, being younger or like certain parts of my life, people's opinions and their role in my life, whether it was a mother, a sister, a friend, a boyfriend, a boo thing, a crush, that had a lot to do with how happy I was. And it wasn't everything, but it was almost everything. So
Mm.
if me and my friends were getting along, school is great, everything seems to be working. But then it seemed like school that was just fun and having cheer, once I fell out with this one girl, it was like a dang, but I gave this person a specific role that she was my only friend. She was this XYZ, etc. And so I think it has a lot to do with what role you give them and how much
Mm.
control that you let that person have, And
Mm.
I'm someone who put like family, like my parents and stuff, in a specific role where how they approve or reject something that I may present to them had a big role in my happiness. That was just like if I presented to you singing, acting, whatever, and you rejected it or you did approve it or like you made it your thing versus my thing, it would take away the excitement from it. That's like, okay, I'm not excited about this anymore. But it's like you literally love marketing, etc. But now that I brought this idea to you, you're like, and then you can make a t-shirt that could turn into a potato. You like, okay, now it's not fun
Mm.
anymore. So, but that had a lot to do with the role I kept giving people. Like I kept
Mm.
giving people so much access to my happiness versus already having my happiness like in its own, in its own vault, and people can come into the bank and I can rather, what I'm saying, take some deposits or, but this bank does not allow withdrawals. Like you can't take away from the happiness, but I let everybody be able to come at one point in my life, deposit and withdraw. You can
Mm.
deposit your happiness, like, give me things that make me, oh my gosh, I love this about you. Like when me and my sister get together, we laugh, we talk, we joke, she gonna keep it real, but also they can take things away from me too. So
Mm.
I gave so much and I allowed these roles to kind of just like affect everything.
Mm. Yeah, I think, like I said earlier, yeah, people was crushing me back then, but yeah, like you said, I was letting them have that room, but me being like 12, and you're like 80. Um, that's not the point. The point is, yes, I do think people play a role in your happiness. Like I said, I was very affected, very impressionable, and I think that's something I've gotten a lot better at letting people like have like a impression on me in a sense. And I think it kind of takes a bit of a building of perseverance, a building for that. But like Airi said, You gotta take back control of that role. Bars done.
Oh, okay, mic drop. She really was about to drop it too. But I think it's important that in any relationship that you have, just to like literally tack onto every, because we're all in agreement that people can affect it and that they shouldn't. But I think the goal that you should have, or remembrance that you should have going into any relationship, is that you should add to somebody's happiness. You shouldn't be the cause of it. So not only
Mm.
should nobody else be the cause of your own happiness, you shouldn't be the cause of somebody else's happiness either.
They do y'all think in y'all relationships now, the friendships, all the relationships in your life that y'all add happiness to those people's lives?
I do. I do.
Mm.
Yeah, I think
Or at least in some way attempt to.
Majority,
yeah, I
as
would
best as you
say
can.
from like confidently, I say I do. You know what I'm saying? I think me just being around make people happy. But yeah, I just think I do.
Amen.
Mm.
I don't know. Like I genuinely just think I do. You
Mm.
know, but I had to reassess for vice versa, like it to be kind of like reciprocated because not everybody was kind of making like not everybody was kind of adding happiness to me. They were more
Mm-hmm.
adding more like stipulations, more you know how like
Stress.
a you build the game or like you build this road. It's like making a Sims house and then somebody comes in besides saying, "Girl, did you know like you can add like
Mm-hmm.
the stereo and then you can get it for free." It was just more of like a you should probably put a rail at the bottom of the stairs. It was like adding more
Somebody will
caution to my
die.
life versus adding like happiness or
Mm.
and not that caution is bad, but there's a time and place and there's people and seasons for everything. So sometimes you just need people that are going to boost you up versus show you everything that you're not doing, showing you everything that like just not really just uplifting you. And not that it's their job to uplift you, but you don't need people around you that are constantly, hitting you over the head about who you are, what you're not
Mm-hmm.
doing, how disobedient you are, how much of a fail you are, how much you haven't changed and grown. You need people that are like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, like, okay, I noticed that this is something that we're still having an issue with, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
seeing that you're da da da. How about we try? It's just so many ways that I don't think people understand that even as you're growing and maturing, how you handle people plays a big role
Mm-hmm.
in their own everyday life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
But I think going circling back to what you said earlier about letting people in the space to even play a part in your happiness. You telling certain people, I don't tell certain people certain stuff, or I don't let people know I like or do certain stuff because of that experience of, yeah, you was crushing me before when I was liking the dancing. I'm not about to tell you starting a podcast. I'm not about to tell you I just started putting lotion on my ankles because this is the softest lotion or whatever.
mhm.
Because some people, they subconsciously and also some consciously do come in to be like a sour apple, and I don't like those people. Like, the older I've gotten and the more I've realized that I kind of like I can't depend on other people for my happiness. The more I've become private, the more like I've become more secluded, quote unquote. I don't know if that's the best word, but yeah, you can't tell everybody everything. You can't let everybody into everything, and even family. Like, you can probably especially family, because they know you, or quote unquote, or they are around you more. They think they know you. They think they can have more of an opinion, more of a um. They think they know better for you, and it's like, yeah, but you're the problem. So yeah.
Do you think that your seclusion or your protectiveness comes from a place of fear that somebody can ruin your happiness again?
Probably. Yeah, probably. But
So
like,
do
I
you
feel like it
think
could be a
that
balance. Sorry.
yeah, of course, but do you think that that you've actually dealt with that trauma or that reasoning behind the fear?
Mm, how would I deal with it?
Well, whatever the root is, by healing that thing.
Mm, okay, let me
So
let
if
me
you're
share.
like if you're Right, because you would know this better. But if we base it off of something that you said earlier, like with the music taste
Yeah.
and whatnot, like you have you feel like you can't trust people with parts of yourself.
Mhm.
So that's the trauma in that, and the response is, well, I just want to protect my happiness by not letting anybody know. So you become secretive,
Well, why
which
do I
I'm not
have to?
saying is a bad thing. I'm just
Uh,
asking.
that's where I
I'm
was.
not
That's
saying
what
I
I was about to
disagree.
go to. Because I was gonna say, like, why do I have to trust people with my music tastes?
But I think when
Well, it's
we
not.
talking about, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I don't think it's about like that you should have to. I think the point is that you don't because of this thing. So if that
Yeah.
was
Mm,
your disposition from the beginning, then that's a different thing because you go, well, I just don't want to share that part of myself without any trauma attached to it. But because there is something that can be deemed traumatic attached to it, and therefore
mm.
you've made a decision based off of that thing, then you do need to figure out why it is that you don't trust people with this kind of information and how to
Because
heal that thing
then
specifically for you.
exactly. Because what can start happening is that it's like literally like building on a foundation, but literally it's a whole bunch of cracks under it.
Mhm.
And then we build this pretty
Mm-hmm.
house on top. And it's like, but it takes one wrong storm, etc., to uproot everything when before you started to lay the foundation, you needed to check the grounding, you needed to get your permits, etc. So when you said someone came in specifically and said, like, I don't like your singing, it's like, well, what do I do about that? Go like allowing ourselves not to just have this memory and have it in the bank, but even going deeper. What all was going on during that time? Like sometimes we don't even allow ourselves to go back far enough to even get the full picture. And not that it means that they could have
Yes.
had a bad day, etc. But you know what I'm saying? Just allowing yourself to not to relive it, to go back to that place and go, have you even forgave this person? You know what I'm saying? Because you just
Mm.
said like you already have said like to this day I still don't like them. You know what I'm saying? But that
Not
that
specifically to that
you
thing,
know what I'm
but
saying? But that thing can like be like a start point that starts showing you other people as well. As
Yeah.
sometimes we don't want to go back because sometimes the people that we've blocked out all this trauma about them, we end up like forgetting stuff that they may have done that may have been traumatic to us. That we just like, well, no, we get along now, but that doesn't mean that me and Dana from 12 years old don't need to still face what, you know what I'm saying, us getting into an argument over milk, you know what I'm saying,
mm,
because it made us start doing stuff different because, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like one of those things where besides like she said, it's not that you have to say, this is who I am, embrace me, but it's also showing like you're not boldly going into places and it
mhm,
flows into other areas of your business, of your inspirations and your
mm,
passions because you're not fully,
Of your
oh, I don't want to,
expression. Hmm.
mhm.
yeah, I don't want to fully
Like
let you
if
go
you like you're
because
an
you're gonna
influencer,
reject.
would you ever
Yeah.
make a playlist video because you're an influencer, like you make a lot of your money off of social media. Would you ever make a playlist video? Not that you have to. I'm just using it as an example. And then why is that? Because of that encounter or because of that history that you have with that? You see what I'm saying? So it blocks your authenticity where if like we said happiness is conditional, you block yourself from even getting into the place of conditioning anybody for that or conditioning your environment or yourself for that because you're completely blocking that thing off.
So
You see what
no
I'm
one
saying?
can take away from something that you don't give them. So now you're not even giving it in the first place. But now there's
To
people
anybody.
who, yeah, so now there's songs that you like, this is a hit, but you're not putting it on, or you're doing so much thinking where it's like when you just vibe, you like the music. You know what I'm saying? I think using the music area as an example, we have very different tastes in music, like very, very, very different. I will listen to the Usher album from 2011 still to
R&B.
this day. Like R&B out. You know
R&B
what I'm
me
saying? I'll
only.
throw a few
Yeah.
pops in there, etc. Where it's like some of these other artists, I'm like, you know what I'm saying, hear your music, I'm like, but that shouldn't
Yeah.
stop you from not wanting to have your music because it's like I don't even want to hear this, I don't want to this, because then we circle back to confidence, we circle back to insecurities, and then it circles back to now when it came down to friends, etc. And somebody hands you the phone, they're like, Angel, just play some music. Nah, because ain't nobody finna be in here telling me, oh, my music trash, blah, blah, blah. This is like a,
Oh, I don't like this.
oh,
Next topic.
okay. But no, those things, a lot of stuff we don't notice how it goes to stuff that's so much deeper. And
Yeah,
when you're thinking about like, well, where do I start? Think about when this thing triggers you and makes you upset. And this is for all of us. When something is triggering you, make you upset, what is the first instance that's popping in your head? Like me and Dana have the same memory of like when singing and people was comparing us of like Airi can't sing,
mhm,
Dana can, she should just do that. We have the same, so it's like, but going there and for myself, ask like, have you forgave her? Even though she's no longer here, R.I.P. But it's like, have you forgave her? Have you forgave everybody else who stood around and let her say these things that are still alive? You know what I'm saying? Because now it's just like and then now you get to a place where it's like I won't believe anybody telling me that I'm a good singer, not just because of her, but I have this compilation of everybody who said X, Y,
yeah,
and Z,
Mhm.
and a lot of it went to deeper rooted issues, like they didn't like me. It was jealousy. It was because I do have a good
yeah,
voice. It was like and it's like, it's not supposed to sound like Dana's. It's not supposed to sound like Beyonce. It's not supposed to sound like Coco Jones. It's Airy, you know.
Mhm.
And then those things play effect into Ari when a new song drop. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know my sound. I don't know what
yeah,
the heck I do. La, 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 la. And now we into, you know what I'm saying? People like, play the same 5 songs that I'm like, I got more in me. But when I'm by myself or when I'm comfortable and safe, I can do a freestyle in the car. When I'm comfortable and I'm safe, I can do a freestyle when I'm da-da-da. But it's like when it's time to bring it out and do it, I won't. But that goes down to
yeah.
what made you become so insecure and not confident in your voice. And it was like oh,
I
you
think
should
also,
get vocal lessons, etc.
yeah, in that same example where the effect that the shared memory that we have has also the same effect on us. So for you, it sounds like it built this insecurity in your voice and in your sound, of your voice. And for me, it did the same thing because I didn't want to make you feel a certain way. So I didn't go into it either. Not even because I was never interested or I was interested, but it was just something I was like, this is just a hot area. We just not going to step over
Mm-hmm.
there. And so I never got into music. Or if I did get into music, it was very secretive. Nobody knew anything because I didn't want it to be oh, well, your sister does music also, and da da da. And I didn't want it to make myself or you feel a certain way about it because of the natural association that has always happened in that area where people have always tried to pit us against each other. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
but that's something that has to be addressed. So,
yeah.
So,
oh, and then
so what?
also being able to look back at the, like, just to use Angel's example, not because this is true. I'm just using it as an example. Okay, so I'm not saying that this is true, Angel. But if that person was joking, but the effect was harmful and they didn't know that it was harmful, they still need to be forgiven for making a joke that didn't land. Does that make sense? Because
Mhm.
sometimes we can look back on a thing and think somebody's intention was hurtful or harmful or meant to stab and hurt us. But in their mind, they were joking and they just don't have a good sense of humor. I'm not saying that was the case. I'm saying that sometimes in other scenarios, that is the case. But we were so stuck in our own pain and our own sadness, the opposite of happiness, to then, rest in that versus.
Okay, what steps can you take to kind of not build yourself a bubble, but I'm gonna use the example of a cloud to make yourself happy, to keep that keep that to not be insecure and let other people come in onto your happiness and squeeze it like a bubble.
Okay, a cloud
Well,
or a
I
bubble.
think clouds,
Cloud.
well,
Just like a cloud.
either way, both of them float and both of them go higher than other people. And so sometimes
Mhm.
that's the hard thing about being, quote unquote, enlightened. You know better. And so you have to do better. And so if you know that this effect or this thing has an effect on you in this way, you have to rise above it. What Michelle Obama say, when they go low, we go high type stuff.
I
Mhm.
think I
That
can.
thing, I used to hate that quote. Like, huh?
I can.
I think I can.
I think I can. I can. Or maybe never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. That was Barack campaign.
Mm.
You talking
Girl,
about
I
Michelle
said the
Obama?
quote immediately after. Yeah, I said the quote immediately after. That was the quote.
Oh,
I
my bad. My bad. I got
was
mixed up.
screaming.
So if
But,
you know better,
her
do
to her
better.
point. Yeah, you have to rise above it. So I'm not, don't change your habits. You heal the reason why you have the habits while keeping the habits. Because the habits are healthy coping mechanisms. Because there are negative coping mechanisms. Like if you become a drug addict or you become an alcoholic, those are negative coping habits. But you have created an environment for yourself to maintain your own happiness, therefore creating an opportunity for the joy of the Lord to come to you, right?
Mm.
So keep doing what you're doing, but also heal that broken child, because that's what it was that happened, that thing happened to go, honey, you can actually listen to your music out loud. That don't mean blast it through the streets on a boombox. That just means don't be shy about playing your music. So when you get in the car, you don't have to have a car playlist when you're in the car with other people. Play your regular playlist that you would play by yourself, you know?
Mm.
That looks like starting to embrace the things that you were afraid of, facing that fear head on.
Yeah, because you end up, it's like it's pretty much telling people like this is who I am. Take it or leave it. But it doesn't matter if you reject it or not. And also,
Mm.
again, training up. Like this, rejection can make you not do so many things. And then now you're in this place of shame, embarrassment. You're just in this place of not feeling like you have any purpose because you're not being, like you
Mm,
said, you're not being yourself. Like it shouldn't matter if everybody says like this music is trash, but if you think about the artists themselves, they're not gonna not make music just because y'all think I can't rap. I think a good example is, I think we just talked about this the other day. Sexy Red, you may not be a fan of her music, but she's not gonna not make music. Blueface
Mm.
didn't care that y'all said he keep chasing the beat and can't catch it. He's gonna keep getting on the beat. It's not about that. So it's like once you get outside of the rejection and you're doing something because you genuinely love it, it genuinely makes you happy. When you're on this cloud in this bubble, you don't give other people the power to pop it. You don't give other people the power to squeeze out the life of this cloud. You know what I'm saying? You're literally, like she said, the joy of the Lord, you're trusting in God and you're allowing him to train you up in that manner. And again, just doing the work daily, healing, forgiving, loving, and again, like really just, it's a daily work. It won't be done overnight. It's daily. So you gotta really you gotta really just do you gotta really just do the steps and proceed in knowing that God has you, but it's still a work that you have to do. And so you can't ignore it, you can't push it under the rug, you can't put it in a cute vase and then throw it away. It's not
Mm.
gonna work.
That'd be nice.
mm-mm. It
Yeah,
ain't gonna
oh,
work.
for sure. We could press reset and go, you know what? I don't want to care about nobody's emotions and just put it down like how we do our saturation and brightness. Of course, that would be amazing. But no
But
matter
that's
how
not
you turn
life.
it down, it's still there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can make it to the top or the lowest. So just do the work.
I don't like how eye opening these conversations be sometimes.
And yeah, I'm just
It give
happy
me
it's
a
you
headache.
today. It's like, nah, it be mind opening for me too, cause y'all showed me, y'all put me down, not down like that, but y'all broke it down. I said, oh my gosh.
Mm.
But with that being said, it is time for a mocha letter. We got a mocha letter. We got a mocha letter. We got a mocha letter. Let's find out what's going on. T. Okay, okay, okay. Dear Airi, I hope this letter finds you well. I want to share some personal struggles and seek your advice that's like really weighing on on my life, weighing on my heart. Why I'm not happy with my life. From the outside, it might seem like I have every single thing together. I have a stable job, supportive friends, and a loving family. Yet, despite these blessings, I find myself feeling unfulfilled and unhappy. It's as if there's a persistent void that I can't seem to fill, no matter what I achieve or how hard I try. I've been reflecting on this a lot lately and wondering why I'm feeling this way. Is it because I'm not pursuing my true passions? Yes. Am I stuck in a routine that's no longer serving me? Yes. Or perhaps I'm struggling with deeper issues that I've been avoiding. I know that happiness is a journey and not a destination, but I'm struggling to find the path that leads to a more content and fulfilling life. How can I start addressing these feelings of unhappiness and figure out what truly brings me joy? What steps can I take to align my life more closely with my values and passions? We kind of touched on these. This is my advice. What do you even know that you're aiming towards if you don't even know what you're aiming towards? You don't know what your values are or your passions, and are you afraid to even try new things to see that you may be talented in singing and dancing, but your way, that thing that might fulfill you may very much be making matcha. Like you might be the new cafe owner. Sometimes trying new things and putting ourselves in new environments make us uncomfortable, but they end up producing something so amazing. And just like a lemon has to be put inside something and squeezed out, sometimes you have to allow the pressure not to break you but to produce something. And so I would say for you, when you said like, am I, is because I'm not pursuing my true passions, you're already saying what you're not pursuing. What are your true passions? Like, you're very passionate, but what about the money? What about this? And this is where it comes down to, when we do stuff with faith, and then when we do stuff with wisdom, and then when God is telling us to do a certain thing, he's like, I need you to, because you hear a lot of testimonies, I quit my job, I this, I that, I that. And you also have situations where I worked my job, but then I started doing my side hustle, because he still had you working. Like when we're doing wisdom, when he had you working for the past 3 months, and he's like, you're going to be leaving here soon, but in those 3 months you were still getting, Chick-fil-A, still getting Wawa, still getting, what I'm saying, your gas station, Royal Farm Foods. You was still doing all of these things that was cutting into the money that would have went into you pursuing this new thing. And as well as, you may not have every last thing planned out together for your collection. You may not have everything planned out to the T for your business, but sometimes starting is all you can do. It's just literally start, and allowing yourself not to, like you said, focus on the destination and enjoy the journey. Why are you so worried about what happens tomorrow? Why are you so worried about what happens at the end of the year and how you'll be feeling at Christmas if this doesn't work out, when you're here today? Tomorrow is literally not even promised. And my favorite quote is, procrastination is arrogance that you have tomorrow. You do not have tomorrow. So do it today. So having family, having friends, having these supportive people around you, let's start utilizing them. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's start utilizing these things. Let's start looking at our job, and if it's time for you to take a bold stand and say it's time for a raise, so that way I can have money, or I have the stable job, but it's like the stable job is paying the bills, but maybe this side hustle may open up so many other doors for you. We had a conversation recently that was like, maybe you're pursuing making a video, and it may be you making shirts, like, you just don't know. But because you won't pursue it, and you're so worried about, well, how it's gonna pay the bills, how I'm gonna get the next t-shirt, how I'm gonna pay the vendor, how I'm gonna pay for the Shopify, how I'm gonna this, how I'm gonna that, you don't do it, and now you're unhappy because this is no longer serving me a purpose. I'm going to work, but I'm not happy. And not every time, entrepreneur or business owner, leader, etc., will you always be so excited that I'm waking up at 5 a.m. and I gotta go to my warehouse. Is Some days it will be tiring. Some days you may go to work and you may not have the same pull and drive. So it's not about, I'm unhappy now, let me quit. Sometimes God may call you to something that may make you uncomfortable. So my advice to you in this season and in this time, the steps that you can take to align your life more closely to your values and passions, is seek God. Go to God and ask him, God, what is it that you see for my life that I can't see for myself? Lord, give me the steps, the strategy, the provision, and the plan that I need, so that way I can follow. Give me the courage to execute, remove laziness and procrastination and idleness from me, so that way I can start taking the steps to do these very things, and surround me with ordained people, ordained finances, and the ordained resources to fulfill the very things that you have, because this is your plan, this is your vision, this is your vessel that you see this great thing. So I'm it's like one of those, like, you gotta call God out, like, you gotta tell him, like, you put the listen, Lord, our business need this, you know what I'm saying? So that would be my advice to you. And you got to really stand in it and really just trust him, build up your faith, build up your confidence in him, build up your love, and stay in his presence, and just trust him, but leap, okay? And don't settle for less.
Amen, amen. And y'all already know what time it is. It's tips from an angel. My tip today, guys, is practice the things that make you happy. If you know those things, it's a blessing to know the things that make you happy. But if you know the things that make you happy and you've stopped doing them, or you've dimmed down doing them because of, past traumas, or because just life, start practicing, start doing them again. Put on a little song, get a little put a little hip in there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Get a little ill, you know what I'm saying? Sing that song, get in the car, blast that radio if you need to. Go on that walk and play pickleball or whatever. And start trying new things too, because maybe the old things that used to make you happy don't make you happy anymore, because that was a time that maybe was meant for that time of happiness. Amen. So continue to explore new things. We got Facebook groups, we got TikTok now, where people be coming up with some creative things that be so like, what? How did you even think of this? Like, just explore, and remember that this world is bigger than what you see. It's more to life, and it's more in this life than what you see. So, don't close yourself off, and just live, laugh, life. Live, laugh. That's it.
Live, laugh, love.
Yeah, there you go. Live, laugh, love. Amen.
I'm screaming. Yo, this is so perfect, and I brought props this time. It's my keychain, and it's actually one of my favorite verses, Psalms 37:4, and it is so perfect for today. It's so good that I have it on my keychain. See, I only got one key, and there's another verse, but that's all I got on there. But it is my favorite, and it says, "Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart." First of all, the things that you are seeking in people, they will fail you every time. Sometimes they might come through, but they will fail you ultimately. At some point and sometime, they're going to fail, which means they've already failed you because that's the nature of people. But God can never, never, never fail you. And the things, the happiness, the joy that you're seeking in relationships or in businesses, God has it for you because He's the only one who can truly deliver all the things that you need. So delight yourself in the Lord. Find happiness, find joy in the Lord, and He will give you all the things that you're seeking in other people. That's the
Mm.
it. That's it. That's all of it. Delight yourself in the Lord. Always be so for real. That's it. That's it. That's the
All
speakeasy for
you
the
had to do
day.
was read the
Delight
verse.
yourself in
Amen.
Jesus.
Look.
Delight yourself in the Lord.
Jesus, Jesus,
Okay.
Jesus.
Um Jesus, 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 Jesus. I love to pray. Okay. Make sure
That's
y'all
a
tune
big bell.
in.
Amen.
Make sure y'all tune in Monday for our live streams. Make sure you let a friend know that we have live streams. We are there every day in person. And y'all need to start coming with questions. Y'all be
Come
making us ask
on.
y'all for questions. Y'all know every Monday that we do a live stream. Why y'all not having y'all questions ready?
Be so for real.
Be so for real. Make sure you tune in Friday for our episodes every single Friday. Every single Friday without fail, honey. Because some things are
Come on.
scheduled. Without fail, we post every Friday. Make sure you tune into the channel, subscribe to the channel, send it to 5 people. That's my challenge for you today. Send it to
Mhm.
5 people. Send it to that group chat. Send it to that, just go drop it on somebody's random page. Go to somebody's Instagram, refresh your For
Mhm.
You page, and click on somebody's post. Make sure you watch the Be So For Real podcast. That's my homework for you
Mhm.
today.
Come
But
on.
every Friday, every Monday, we are live. Make sure you tune in, like the video, share it, and leave a comment, please. We beg, even if it's a heart, because we love you. So why you don't love us? Make sure you drop a comment.
Come on.
And until next time,
Yeah.
guys.